After some awesome Marvel stories, let's wind down with some good old-fashioned pony fix. Last Day of Christmas by Deathscar. One chapter, here we go. Sunset pushed her locker closed with a soft thud. As he glanced around the hallways of CHS and gave a soft sigh. He never seen the school quite so empty, especially when it barely passed around 3 p.m. She moved towards the main hall, and just like the rest of Caroline High, there wasn't a single soul present. All of them are home already, snuggled up all cozy in. Sunset quickly shook her head to knock out the thoughts. It was just a few days before Christmas, as she was determined not to let anything sour her mood. She pushed the front door open immediately. The winter chill soared past her. Quickly, she slid on her coat and gloves before venturing outside. Snow had fallen from the sky, creating small mounds along the road from CHS. Sunset descended the steps, hearing it crunch with every step she took. A sudden smile emerged from her lips once she reached the pavement. No one's around, so... Hi-ya! Sunset reeled her back leg and delivered a forceful kick to a nearby pile of white powder. His attitude proved some much-needed relief when a day had gone bad. Something about the feeling kicking a pile of snow or leaves that made her feel powerful. Like an adventure heroine from the books that Rainbow Dash wouldn't stop rambling about. You want another? Well, you asked for it. Hi! She reeled up for another kick, while a giggle froze to her place. Sunset turned to see the source and spied Twilight, leaning against the statue with a hand over her mouth. Nice to see you haven't changed. Twilight strolled to Sunset, laughing once more when she noticed her blushing cheeks. Twilight! Where's the dance you just came through the portal and aren't giggling at me? Sunset lowered her foot slowly, feeling a red-hot wave of embarrassment melting away, feeling cold. The probability would be low. Taking a seat on the nearby bench, Twilight tapped the space behind her softly. How low? Sunset asked, taking a seat beside her friend. 0%. Sunset rolled her eyes with a smirk, before delivering a soft punch to Twilight's arm. How? Hey, I was laughing because I do it too. Twilight spoke through Geiger giggles. Really now, the Princess of Friendship kicks piles of snow in the air. Sunset crossed her arms in disbelief. Well, in my case, I levitate them, create snowballs, and fire them at Rainbow Dash, but yes. Sunset gave a laugh of her own before speaking. What are you here for, Twilight? Isn't it almost heartwarming Eve for you? Mm-hmm. Decorations are all being set up. The castle's looking beautiful. There's a giant tree in our main foyer, and Starlight is celebrating with us. It's going to be amazing. Twilight extended her arms into the air as she spoke. Right. I remember you writing to me how you got your own castle and your own student. Sunset paused, the playful smirk vanishing from her face. Wow. Guess it never really occurred to me how much you achieved in such a short time. Guess you really are Princess Celestia's prized pupil. The sadness in Sunset's voice was all too obvious to Twilight. Quickly, she darted her hand forward and placed a finger on Sunset's glowing necklace. I'm not the only one. Sunset glanced down at the pendant and gave a tiny smile. She grasped Twilight's hand softly before nodding several times. Yeah, I guess you're right. Twilight retracted her hand before continuing her explanation. I came back because I was wondering if you'd like to join us for Heartswarming. Any question yet? Sunset thought for a second before shaking her head. Nah, I'd rather celebrate Christmas here. It's actually pretty nice. And with the snow and the spirit people carry here, it's not too different from Heartswarming back home. A soft sigh escaped Twilight's lips. I know, I just thought it'd be worth a try. Hey, that doesn't mean I don't want to spend time with you, Twi. Sunset sits her closer to her friend, smiling wide. I'm just not ready. Twilight finished Sunset's sentence, running her gloved hands over another. I know. Well, in this case, here you go. Reaching to her bag, she pulled out a green present which had been wrapped with a bright purple bow. Sunset sat instead in silence. It took her a few seconds before she reached forward and grabbed the box from Twilight's hands. Twilight, I don't know what to... Was it people say here, Merry Christmas? Almost immediately, Sunset's laughter filled the air. Soon enough, Twilight joined in as well. I got it wrong, didn't I? Once Sunset regained some composure, she corrected Twilight with a wide grin. It's Merry Christmas, Twilight. And thank you. Can I open it now? Of course, go right ahead. Sunset pulled at the bow at the top, watching the ribbon fall neatly into her lap. She looked at the top of the box. It was green with several items. What did you do? Buy half the store? She joked. Well, not all of them from me. I asked your friends if they'd like to give you something. Sunset reached in, pulling out the first item. Daring do, and it caused some curious. She held the book in her grip and flipped over the cover, spying the writing on the first page. Hey, Sunset, now you got your own copy. You have no more excuses. Read it so you can talk about Latoy and I, your awesome friend Dash. Of course, Daring do from Rainbow. Let's see. A scarf from Rarity, fresh cider from AJ. One at a time, Sunset removed the items from the box, placing them on the bench beside her. Animal cookies from Fluttershy and Pinky. Sunset opened the cloth pouch and passed the cookie to Twilight, who took it with a smile. And lastly, Sunset reached into the bottom of the box, pulled out a large binder. A photo album? Take a look inside, Twilight said, chewing the cookie in her mouth. Flipping the first page open, Sunset's mouth fell agape as she spied the pictures. They were all photos from the moments she had with her friends, sitting at the CHS musical showcase, all the way up to the recent escapades at Camp Everfree. Every single moment she cherished was now sitting in her lap, and the thought left her dumbfounded. One picture in particular caught her eye. It was her and Sideswipe cheating together on pier at Camp Everfree, laughing at the camera. So he slid the picture out from his place in the book and flipped it to the other side. Dear Sunset, I made this album my way of saying thanks to you. Thanks for standing by me, never leaving my side. Thank you for everything you've done and going out of the way to be my best friend. You helped change my life forever, Sunset, and I'll never forget. Cross my heart and help to fly, stick a cupcake in my eye. Maybe one day, I'll be able to repay the favor. Twilight, Sparkle. One that isn't a magical punny princess. Sunset had to hold back the tears welling up at her. She slid the veil back in its place and closed the album. You okay, Sunset? Twilight asked, placing a hand on her shoulder. Yeah. Sunset replied in a shaky voice. Yeah, I'm okay. Good, because there's one person left that hasn't given you a present yet. Twilight smiled, undoing the straps of her gloves and pulling them off. Huh? Who? Sunset turned to face Twilight, swiftly placed her bag, and pulled out an ornate red box. She extended it towards Sunset, and took it with a perplexed expression on her face. Me. You're not proposing to me already, right? Twilight covered her mouth as she laughed. Just open it. Sunset looked at the lid of the box, and the sight of the contents made her heart skip a beat. Inside sat a beautiful pendant. It was made of shining gold, and several beautiful gems adorned the front, sparkling in a myriad of colors. However, it wasn't all of these that stopped Sunset's heart. It was the engraving present on the face. It consisted of 2 alicorns flying in a circle around the sun and moon. Around them were 39 different stars, and she immediately knew what this pendant was. Twilight, this must be a mistake. This can't be for me. Sunset's emotions were on the verge of overwhelming her. She could barely form the words to make a coherent sentence, much less put her storm of thoughts into words. Twilight sat closer, placing an arm around her. No, I'm pretty sure I got the right girl. Sunset's hands began to shake slightly. Twilight, this is an equestrian medal of honor. Princess Celestia only gives these out to ponies she thinks has made a difference to Equestria. You got all of it right. I don't see a problem. Twilight smiled, feeling Sunset's emotions slowly spread to her, turning around. Sunset turned the medal around, reading the engraving out loud. You made me so proud, Sunset. Princess Celestia. She couldn't hold the emotions in any longer. Tears flowed from her eyes as she dived into Twilight's arms. She bawled and sobbed loudly into Twilight's winter coat, wrapping her own arms around her friends. Twilight set her eyes tight, returning the emotional embrace with a hug of her own. Sunset's emotions were so powerful they started to affect Twilight as well. Small tears started to run down her cheek as Sunset's sobbing grew with each passing second. After a few minutes, both of them managed to regain some of their composure. They broke the hug, staring at each other with warm smiles. Twilight, you're welcome, Sunset. Twilight wiped a straight tear from Sunset's face. Come on, let's go grab some coffee. On me. Sunset gathered things, placed them back in the box. All of it is except for the ornate red box. She grasped that tightly in her hand, as if her life depended on it. She stood up, preparing to move off when Twilight's voice stopped her tracks. Actually, Sunset, I have to get going. My friends are going to need all the help they can get prepping the castle for Heartwarming Eve. Twilight stood for her seat, walked up to Sunset. Oh, right. Sunset turned away, frowning. Hey, Twilight used her finger to lift Sunset's head, making her cyan eyes with a smile. I'll be back before you know it, and the portal's always open for you, whenever you're ready. Right. Just wish you could stay a little longer. Sunset wiped Twilight's gloves from her hands and slowly slid them on, so I can repay you for all you've done with me. Without warning, Twilight leaned in, pecking Sunset softly on her cheek. There's nothing to repay, son. Merry Christmas, Sunset. Merry Christmas, Twilight. Twilight waved towards Sunset as he walked towards the portal. With a large grin and a bittersweet heart, Sunset waved back one last time before Twilight disappeared in a flash of light. Sunset sighed, feeling the silence and loneliness creep up on her once more. She turned to the direction of her home and started to walk back. However, she didn't take more than 5 steps before she froze in her tracks. Lifting her hands, she stared nightly at the red box, a whirlwind of thoughts in her mind. Slowly she raised her head, landing her gaze on the portal that Twilight just disappeared into. Twilight woke up with a loud yawn and ran a hoof through her mane. Groggily, she crawled out of bed and tried to the kitchen, her eyes open wide enough just in time to see where she was headed. Almost maniacally, she made her way to the kitchen, her horn lit up, wrapping a nearby cup in a bright purple glow. She took a sip of the hot coffee, smiling wide as she felt the energy course through her veins. This tastes amazing, Spike. Great job with today's coffee. Twilight waited for a reply, but none came. She saw her eyes wide open and found the kitchen suspiciously empty. Spike? Trying slowly throughout the castle, she called Spike's name several times, though his voice never echoed back once. Once she was in the main forward, Twilight spotted something suspiciously out of place. Underneath the pine trees, beside the staircases, was one small orange and red box. I thought I told him not to put presents till tonight. This will mess up the whole secret gift-giving event I had planned. Twilight mumbled in an irritated expression. She tried towards the single box, and leaned down, preparing to expect the presents, when a voice called out from behind her. Sorry, your friends didn't tell me that, but at least you liked the coffee. Twilight instantly recognized the voice. It felt as the air had been knocked from her lungs. The anger thoughts vanished in an instant. She felt her host shake immensely. You know, the alicorn look really suits you. Tears flowing from her eyes, she spun around, and sure enough, there she was, with that signature smirk on her face. Silence had fell to 2 mares for several seconds, broken only by one line. Happy heartwarming Twilight. Cute, sweet, adorable. Moving on.